So hi everybody. Apologies that the Syllabus video had terrible audio. I did not listen to it ahead of time and I tried to clean it up in post, but it does not sound great. But I think I have made some changes that hopefully will make it sound a lot better. We'll see. But in any case, this is just one of those kind of optional tutorials that gives you a bit of a rundown on Google Drive and how it works, in case you either haven't used it or aren't really familiar with like what it's going to look like to use it at NC State in particular. So the Unity ID that you get for accessing things like Wolfware and Moodle and really anything to do with NC State is the same login that you are going to use for your Google Drive. So you can see that I have mine here. I'm logged into my NC State Google account. And if you are somebody who has like multiple emails like I do, it can be a little bit of a pain to move in between them. So one of the things that you can do is whichever account you are signed into, and I am on Google Chrome here, because that just makes it the easiest for me. I will say for this class, if you normally use another browser, it might be worth getting Chrome and then signing into it with only your NC State like account, just to have easy access to it. But if you're already using Chrome, then what you can do is, it is fine to have multiple accounts. I'm gonna like edit out my other emails so that you can't see them. But what you can do is, like, I have my default account. I've got another one that I use for professional stuff apart from school, and then I have my NC State account. You can switch between them, and again, I'm gonna be like editing out stuff, but you can see that this is what it looks like, and then I can switch back to the NC State account, and there is all of my good stuff. So anytime that you are doing anything with this course, you always need to be using your NC State account and email. You cannot email me from a professional email. I'm not allowed to accept emails from like a personal or professional email. And same with like Google Drive folders and files and things like that. You want to be logged into your NC State account. Let's say you're logged into your account, and you're trying to figure out like kind of how to navigate the rest of what's called like the Google Suite from there. Of course, you can come up here, and these are all of the applications that are associated with your Google account. So you have Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, right? And you can look at those individually. You also have Google Calendar, all that good stuff. I definitely recommend kind of familiarizing yourself with some of the different applications that are here. So for example, if you ever meet with me for office hours, there's a really good chance that I will send you like a calendar invite that will go to your NC State email. Google Drive is kind of like your go-to just way of organizing all of your files. The way that I personally do things is I organize stuff by year. I've been at NC State since 2019, so and then I might organize it by semester, and then within each of these folders I have like a different class. So it's really the same as like if you have a regular file directory on your computer. Like for those of you who have Windows, for example, this is really no different than File Explorer. It's just on the cloud. The nice thing is that, as you saw, you have like Google Docs, Google Sheets, which kind of mirror like Microsoft Docs and Excel if you've used those softwares before. This is kind of like analogous to them. So if I open this up, you can see that I have like PowerPoints that I've created, spreadsheets, and various documents. At the top of our Moodle page, you will be able to open the class Google Drive, and it's not listed here yet, but each one of you will have a folder here that I believe will be like organized with your last names, that you'll be able to access. So I'm gonna make like a sample one for myself, and if you open this, like you can get linked to the class drive, you'll be able to see everybody's drives there. then you can click into your folder. Please don't edit things in other people's folders. We'll be doing some collaboration and stuff over the course of the semester, but for the most part, you want to be working with your own folder. Now, let's say you want to create different files and things like that. One of the things that we're going to be doing is organizing a bunch of like folders for our projects. So one thing that I recommend, for example, is make a folder for each project that we're doing. So we're doing 4 major projects. Let's say you want to keep them kind of separate from each other because you're going to have lots and lots of documents that you work with for each one. So you can make different folders for keeping that stuff organized if you're that kind of person. Then let's say, while you're working on project 1, you have a homework assignment that you're going to be writing as a Google Doc and then sharing a link with me. You can create a Google Doc in that folder. So you see how I navigated to it first, then created it, and I can go back by clicking through here. If you click this path, it shows you just like all of the kind of other folders that this folder is stored inside of. If you ever get lost, you can always go back to my drive, and that will be linked there. Another thing that you can do, and that I would actually recommend, let me pull this up real quick, is that you can star this folder. So I'm trying to remember how to do it because I actually don't do it very often. Yes. So if you click on the folder name and you go to organize, one of the things you can do is that you can star this folder so that you can find it very quickly in the future. Another thing that you can do is you can add a shortcut. So I'm the owner of the overall folder, the English 101 class drive. But let's say you want a shortcut because you have your own English 101 folder on your Google Drive that there's some files that you don't want me to have access to, but that you want to keep close together so that you can quickly like work on something on your own end privately and then upload it to your drive once it's ready to go. You can add a shortcut. So if I say, okay, I want to add a shortcut for this folder to my drive's homepage, now when I click it, I can see that that's there. And so if I were to create another English 101 folder just for me, I could put the class folder inside of that. So those are a couple of different ways to just organize it based on what's going to work for you. Again, I created that document inside of the Project 1 folder. I thought, did I not? I don't see it. Sometimes it can be a little wonky where like if you create a document like this, it might take a little bit of time for it to update, but like you can change the titles of your documents here. The really important thing is that anything that you have in your class folder, I will have access to and your peers will have access to. So throughout the semester, there are going to be times where you are required to provide me and your peers with either edit or comment access. I always need edit access to your documents, but for peer review, you can do comment access. And I actually, now that I'm saying that, I ought to show what I mean. Here, for example, you can see that I'm the owner of this document, so I have edit access to it. So if I am interacting with the document in edit mode, I'm able to type into it, I'm able to move things around, delete it, do whatever I want. I need edit access to your documents because it allows me to kind of see the full extent of the file when I'm grading your assignments. You can give people what is called like just comment access, or they can just make suggestions. And so let's say you don't want your peers during peer review to fully edit your document. You can do what is called like a suggestion. So it will add like a little comment here on the side that your peer can add. And then as you are reading through the document, you can say, yes, I want to accept that suggestion, or maybe no, I don't. But for me, I always want edit access. So if you put it in that folder, everybody will have edit access to it. I've just kind of set it up that way for ease of access. The other way that you can check is to hit this share button. So y'all don't have access to the drive yet, so the settings aren't automatically changed, but this is what it will look like at the start of the semester. When I change the settings, you will see that anybody who has a NC State email and is logged into that account can edit it. This is why it is important to make sure that you are always logged into that NC State Google account as opposed to another one. If I were to log into this or try to access this page from a different email, it would let me know that I don't have access to it. So you want to put it in that class folder. If you don't put it in that class folder, do make sure that you are giving everybody edit access, but generally speaking, you need to make sure to put it there. So that is kind of what this looks like. Again, you can like organize the folder. So right now it lets me know, okay, this assignment document is in the P1 homework folder. Or no, sorry, it says this assignment P1 _ homework is in the project 1 folder. Let's say I wanted to move it just to the overall folder. I could move it, and then when I go to that folder in the drive, you see it there. You can click and drag and drop things pretty easily. You can check the edit access for any of these folders. So you can hit share here, for example, and see who has access to it and make changes to that. What's the other thing I was going to say? You can see like information about any of the documents to, again, check access, see who the owner of a document is. Oh yes, you can also, once a document is shared with people, this is one of the ways that you can copy the link to that. It just ends up copying it as a hyperlink. One of the nice things about Google Docs is that you can like tab and make it very easy to access. But regardless, then if somebody has access, they can get to it easily through a hyperlink. Same thing here. If you click it, there's like a little bar that comes up at the top. There's a lot of different ways to kind of navigate this. You can look at like activity to see like who's recently sharing things with you or who has commented on stuff. Often you'll get emails about it. I know that in my case, I'm going to have to edit this, but I have my email here, right? My university Gmail. And if I go down to this chat, you can go all the way down, and I have it set that I can get Google Drive notifications as a chat as opposed to an email, which I will say is really nice because your email can get full really, really quickly if people are making lots of comments, which hopefully they are, and you're getting good feedback. You can click on this and it will send you regularly there kind of updates on like, oh, somebody commented on the document. Another thing I will say, and this is like some real inside info, okay? Let's say you are one of these people who wants to look at a document, but you know somebody might be editing it right now. So like, let's say you want to get a look at a peer's paper to see if they're ready for you to review it yet, and you don't want to do the thing where you open the document, because in case you don't know, I believe if I duplicate this, I'll be able to see it. I could be wrong. You can see my name because like that's the part where I am in the document on this tab. Very often you'll see a little bubble come up there. If I open your document while you're working on it, it's okay. Don't panic. You'll probably see me do that during the semester and it's quite all right. But let's say you're about to just check in on something for a peer and you just want to do that without maybe opening it. You can also open it with preview and it will just let you look at it that way. So if you want to see comments on something as I'm working on it, but you don't want to like fully open the document at the same time that I'm doing that, you can do this. That's just like one of those funny things about kind of like the culture of Google Docs and using it. So that is your kind of like little intro to Google Docs. It is a really nice platform, but it can be a little overwhelming if you're not somebody who uses this kind of stuff very often. So if you have any questions about it, let me know. But I do want you to make sure that you consistently know how to make sure that I have edit access, because if I'm getting a bunch of stuff that doesn't have edit access, I'm going to link you to this video and I'm going to ask that you watch it. Okay. All right. If you have any questions, just email me and let me know. But otherwise, I'll see you at our next class.